Hey, this is Steve Leth with eXp Realty. It is May, and this is just a quick video about what's happening in the local real estate market right now. I get asked this question. I was just asked this question last week, and I get asked this question a lot. Is now a good time to buy? Is now a good time to sell? How is the market? All right, and so that answer on my end, it has some follow-up questions. So your question that you ask about how's the market is going to get more questions from me, and what I'm going to go through today will explain why that question gets more questions from me on how's the market. Should I buy? Should I sell? Right, and that's my follow-up question. Are you selling? Are you buying? And where are you selling? Where are you moving to? Where are you buying? Where would you like to buy? What areas, right? Oh, I don't mind. I'd like to be in, the northwest suburbs. I could look to move to Rogers, Maple Grove, Big Lake, Zimmerman, all those kind of areas. Okay, great. Those areas, what I'm going to show you today, have very different things going on within that market as well. So it's not always the right time to buy or sell. Most realtors might tell you that. I prefer to look at the numbers and really dig in and see what the numbers say. So we're going to take a look at those here. We're going to look at average days on the market. We're going to look at some pricing trends, and then what homes were listed for and what they ended up selling for, and kind of what that tells us about each market. So we're going to dive in here real quick and go through that. So on your screen here, there's about 10 market segments that we're going to go through. We'll just start out with Elk River. What do these numbers mean, right? So you've got the Elk River market, you've got an absorption rate. What is that? Average days on the market. Those two tie together here. So I'll explain absorption rate for you really quick. In Elk River, let's say there are 50 homes that are currently for sale. It will take 3.5 months right now for those 50 homes to be gone, sold off the market. So that comes out to be about 109 days on the market. Okay, so we got a list sale percentage, and what this means is I'm going to list my home for $300,000 in Elk River, for example. What am I going to get on the sale price? So I listed at 300, and this here is telling me that I'm going to get 87% of that list price. Okay, so basically it's going to be a 12, almost 13% discount on average on these homes here in Elk River. So if you're a buyer, you may be getting a little bit of a discount off of what those homes are listed for. There's some things that go into that listed price, of course. Was it priced properly originally by the agent? Did they look at the right comps? Were they using, what numbers were they using? So all those are very important when it comes to listing your home for sale. Stuff that we would go through, obviously, to make sure that we agreed that the numbers we were looking at were correct, and that's what we wanted to list your house for. To make sure you didn't take a 13% discount on your home. Okay, so absorption rate, and then average days on the market, right? 109 days. And then there's a pricing trend. So we're looking at quarterly numbers. So last 3 months, the pricing trend has gone down, right? You're seeing that 13% discount. Pricing trend, basically if we continue at this pace, rolling year over year, homes are going to have a 17% change in price on that. Will that trend continue? That's what we do these numbers for. That's what we keep an eye out for. So we just do this each month. We do it rolling 90 days for the numbers, and it's going to compute out, and that's what we're going to look at. It could definitely change. This could also go up, could go down. So that's something we just keep an eye on. So we'll go take a look at Big Lake. Elk River and Big Lake, they are right next to each other. There's a little bit of a difference between the two. So if you're looking in Big Lake, right now, average days on the market for a home, it's going to be 69 days, so around 70 days on the market, 2.25 months. List to sale, you're getting a discount. You're getting about a 10% discount, but Big Lake home prices are going up. So the prices are going up, even though there's a little bit of a discount. Rolling 90 days, you're still getting pricing trends that are going up almost 10%. Okay, Maple Grove, we won't really jump into that one that much. Rogers, we're going to come back to Rogers and Zimmerman. I want to jump down to Coon Rapids and Brooklyn Park. So days on the market in these are going to be the lowest that we have on this list. So you're looking at 47 and 44 days on market. And look at this here. You list your home for $300,000 and you are going to get, this is not a discount. So these are discounted numbers in the pluses. This is actually, you're getting more than your asking price. So you list it for $100,000, you sold it for $102,000. So you're getting 2% more. All right, so if you list it for $300,000, 2% more of that's going to be $6,000. So $306,000. This helps us as agents, right? If we are putting an offer in for a buyer on a home, on average, right? If we know this house and this price point is $400,000 and there's multiple offers on there and they're selling for 2% more on average, that may tell us that we need to be 2% over 400,000, which is 408. All right, so our offer maybe should come in at 408, 410. If you like that home, you're qualified for that price, it's going to appraise. That's not a big amount to appraise for over 400,000. But if the numbers make sense for you and you want that home and it's your area, it's your forever home, or you're going to be there at least 5 years or longer, then let's go in at 410. Okay, so that is some numbers that help us get our buyers homes and don't lose out. And we say, oh, there's multiple offers, got to come in over asking. Well, what is that? What does that number look like? Okay, well, let's go in at 405. Well, on average, they're selling for about 2% more, which is actually 408. Okay, what does that offer look like? It's not always price. There's other things with closing dates, inspection periods. There's certain things that we can do to make our offer look better, but those are some numbers that we look at to help our clients beat out other offers, basically. Same thing in Brooklyn Park right here. They're getting right at asking price, just slightly a little bit more. So if we put an offer in, full price offer, maybe a little bit more, or we put a full price offer in, but we do some other things with the offer that make it look appealing, financing, inspection period, closing date that works, anything. There's multiple things that we can do to not always increase our price of our offer. There's some closing costs that we'd be willing to pay for, not ask it from the seller, those sort of things, and we'd be right at that price. So those are some numbers. Again, let's jump back into Zimmerman. This is the one that really stuck out the most when we look at Zimmerman here. Absorption rate, you're on the market for 80 days. It's definitely not as long as, say Rogers, but it's definitely, not half the time like Anoka, Coon Rapids, Brooklyn Park here is, half the time of 80. But this here is pretty crazy. So the homes in Zimmerman, the percentage of their list price, right? So that $100,000 home that they listed at, they got 78% of that, $78,000 of the 100 that they originally. That's almost a 22% discount on those homes. So there was some major shakeup going on in the past 90 days in Zimmerman as far as list price on homes. If that continues, you're going to see pricing in Zimmerman go down like 66%, because that's literally what these numbers show. If I jump into Zimmerman here, I'll just kind of tell you what those numbers were on average price. So just remember, you're like, how can it be 66%? What's a 22% discount? What does that mean? So if we go and we take a look at Zimmerman right here. Okay. The average list price for the past 90 days in Zimmerman was $433,000. Okay, that's what the average list price was. Those homes sold at $338,000. That's your discount. That is showing your trending down in Zimmerman. Now, that snapshot of 90 days, we're just going to keep an eye on that one. I'm definitely going to keep that one in there just because of that huge percentage. So we'll just keep an eye and see if that happens, as we continue out and do it next month as well. So we're keep an eye on that. But those are real numbers to look at. So if you don't see your city, your subdivision, your town, your area, your school district in here, you can drop a comment and we'll do analysis for that one in the next month. So if you drop that in there and you say, hey, I want to take a look at Bloomington, Shakopee, I'm looking, St. Cloud, you're looking around areas of the Twin Cities, the suburbs, Edina, you want to see those numbers, I'll go ahead and I'll drop those in the next report. Again, I can do spots for about 10 of them. So if you see yours, or if you make a comment on an area you want to see, put that in there. I'll have it up next month and we'll keep an eye on some of these that are currently in there. If you've got a friend who's been thinking about, selling or buying in a certain area, be sure to tag them in the comments. They need to see these numbers, right? They want to ask you about the market or know about the market, need to know these are the numbers they should see. And finally, if you've been thinking about selling yourself, wondering if now's the right time, what you need to know what your house is going to sell for, how long it's going to be on the market, how we can shorten that time frame on the market, what that looks like. We do a free service. It's a full 50-point market analysis on your home. It's just like a professional appraisal, but obviously the appraisal is going to cost you $800 to $1,000. We do this for free, no strings attached. The report will show you exactly what you would net if you were able to sell your house right now, or the next 90 days to 6 months. So just go ahead. I'm going to drop a link in the comment and just go ahead. You can click on that and it basically just asks for some information and you can request that 50-point CMA is what we kind of call that. I've got time this week. I can probably do about 5 this week. So if I get more than 5, I'll just let you know that, hey, it's going to be out. I'll try and get it done this week or be pushed out to next week. So we do those 5 every week guaranteed. And then if we get more than that, we just push them out till the following week, but you're on the list. So go ahead and click on that link and get that in there. I appreciate you all hanging out and checking out these numbers with me, and we'll see you next month. Thank you. Bye-bye.